Good morning, everyone. I just forgot to share my screen before I went live, but there we are now. Looking at gold on the 10-minute chart, XAU USD on a 10-minute time frame. And already on this first candle is already looking bearish. Stand by while I make sure everything is set up properly here on YouTube. Yeah, looks like we're good and live. It's just gone 8 o'clock a.m. Indochina time. That's in Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, Southeast Asia, where I live. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The day before. Today is Friday in Southeast Asia. Thank goodness it's Friday. Don't we all love Fridays? TGIF. And it's still Thursday evening in the U.S. Just gone 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we know we don't like to do anything on this first candle, because that could be a fake out, it could break below, keep going, whatever. And for those of you that don't know, this is my trend line strategy. Just type that in here. Let's see if that goes across. I don't know if that'll go across. Yeah, it did, eh? Okay. I typed it in my Telegram app. Yeah, looking bearish. Let me jump across and look at the 4-hour chart right quick. I got up a little bit late today, guys, so if I sound sleepy, it's because I got up late. Still got some sleep in my eyes. And the 4-hour chart is looking, wow, the 4-hour chart has turned bullish. How about that? I don't know if it will stay bullish throughout the day, but just because of that big move we had yesterday, one big ass bullish candle on the 4-hour chart yesterday. And then still bearish on the day chart. Yeah. Let me see if I can show that on my screen. I don't know if I can share on the streaming. Whoa, that doesn't look very good. Okay, I got a lot of junk on my 4-hour chart. I take a lot of notes when I'm trading, so I can go back and review my charts. This is that big ass green candle, which turned gold bullish on the 4-hour chart yesterday. That one there. If you can see that through all of my notes there. And what did we have yesterday? Well, quite a day yesterday. Very unusual day. Really surprised me yesterday, guys. I don't know about you, but I was surprised yesterday. Okay, we had the Asian session here. Took off bullish for a little while until about 1 hour after Shanghai opening. And then it went bearish. And I thought, okay, that's going to be the trend for the day. I thought this was just a little bit of a correction here, and then we would continue our bearish movements. That's what I was looking for, lower prices. That didn't happen. At noon, my time, Indochina, at noon, and that's the last couple of hours of the Tokyo session, started to go up. And boy, it never stopped, never slowed down, just went up all throughout the day. London pushed it up even higher. And then finally in New York, in the evening session, it started to fizzle out. And we had a little bit of a drop And I thought, okay, we might see some lower prices. I got in on the New York session right about here and got out right about here. No, I got out over here. I waited a couple of hours and it didn't look like it was going to do anything at all. And it was just so late for me in the New York session after watching it for a couple of hours. I got out right in here somewhere and then went to bed. And it didn't do anything. Yeah, I did have a stop loss. I had my take profit and everything, but I don't like to keep a trade open all night. You just never know what will happen. So back over here on today, we'll look at the prices. Come back over and see. Oh, there. Good morning, Alex. 46.45. A little resistance there. 46.45. That's the high from yesterday. That's the previous day high. 46 46.46 was the high yesterday. So yeah, a little bit of resistance there. Then we have another major resistance from the pivot point indicator. That's at 46.62. And we have our pivot point down here at, can't see that very well, about 4,600. And then we have our first support level at 46.56. That's according to the pivot points indicator that I use on Tradingview. The support, midday pivot, and resistance. But yes, we do have minor resistance there at 46.46, 46.45, as Alex says. So are we going to continue up? Anything can happen. Who knows what's going on today? We just let the market tell us what it's going to do. I think you're in New Delhi. Is that right, Alex? Am I remembering correctly? Nobody else has joined in yet today. And we got another 1 minute on this 10-minute candle. Hey, Emmanuel. Good morning to you, wherever you're watching from. And that looks like a bearish candle there to me. Just going over to my MT5. And don't know what I'm getting here. Okay. What in the world is that? Just stand by, guys. I'm getting some error messages here on my MT5. Okay. Okay, guys, I just went short. Uh, was having a little bit of trouble there on, but I just went short on gold. And let me see where I need to put my take profit at 46.36. I think I will. Yeah. That's quite a big stop loss. Oh, okay, that's all right. So I just went short here at what was it, 46.15. Let me double check. Yeah, 46.16. I was a little bit slow to pull the trigger there. And what did I say my stop loss was? 46.36. Let me see if that's going to show up on the YouTube. Yes, it does. Just reading through the. Good morning, Raj. And just hang on, guys. Stand by. I'll come back to the chats here in just a second. I want to be sure I've got my trade set up correctly. As I said, I got up a little bit late this morning, and let's see if I can put this up here. That's my stop loss, and that's my entry point there. I don't have a take profit yet, and I'll come back to that. There's no rush to get the take profit, but I want to have the stop loss. Okay, guys, you can see on my trend line strategy, this is what I use, and a break and a close below the trend line, which we had right there on the first candle, means I go short. So I hope I wasn't a little bit too quick on time will tell. And then my stop loss is above the safety line, the red line there. Now that's the safety line. So I put my stop loss above that. And I had a break and a close below the upward trend line, the green trend line. That's the action line. So I took action. I went short on that trade at 46.16 with a stop loss at 46.36. Now let me get back over to the chats. And Shanghai will push it down a little. Yeah, it looks like they might. That's why I went short, according to my trendline strategy. And Emmanuel, you see, I'm a professional trader. You're in a phase of doubt and confusion now in my trading journey. Okay, I get it. Everybody goes through that. If you want to reach out to me on Telegram, that's my messaging service there, the main messaging media that I use. My Telegram ID is at RickRayFX, and I have a Telegram group for traders, a chat group, and I'll add you to that group if you want. Just let me know. Reach out to me on Telegram, and if I can help you, Emmanuel, I will. And okay, I just answered your question. Yeah, you can reach out to me on Telegram, Emmanuel. And let's see. Can I teach support and resistance with swing high, swing low? Well, support and resistance, Alex, is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. As you were asking about my what I call is the previous day high, previous day low. That's the ones that I mark up, and all I do is just go back to yesterday's chart, and you see there is the previous day high right there, and the previous day low right there. So you would call it the swing low and the swing high, just on the previous day. That's all that I mark. And the reason I do that is because you will notice if you mark those on your chart, you will see that it's quite often, it will surprise you how often the market will go back to those levels. It'll go back to the previous day high. It might break above it, and it might come down to the previous day low and break below it. Those are swing high and swing low. You call them previous day high, previous day low. It will surprise you how often the market goes back to those levels the next day. Those are considered strong support and resistance. That's the only swing high and swing low that I mark on my chart. Previous day high, previous day low. And what you will get, London might push it above that previous day high. This is where all the liquidity is, the previous day high. That's where the stop losses and the pending orders are. And so London might push it above that, knock out all of the liquidity, put that liquidity back into the market, and then they start going in a different direction. Sometimes that will happen. Or it might happen in the New York session. Or they might come down and take out the previous day low. This is where you have other liquidity. It's a liquidity pool where stop losses and pending orders hang around. So you might see that the market will take that out and then change direction. Those previous day highs and previous day lows, that's where the liquidity pool is. And the big players, the institutions, they need liquidity to make their big moves. So now we're in profit a little bit here, starting our next candle. And also you'll see I mark out the Asian high. We have already the Asian high, the Asian session. This is the Asian high. That could change. All right, I have the entire Asian session marked off up until this would be after this right here. This would be the start of the London market. So this is the Asia session here. Now this box will change as it goes through the day. So I adjust that. Sometimes I do it during the session. Sometimes I wait till after the session. So now that's our Asia low there. And I will leave I have a trade open now. I went short on a previous candle. And I'll leave these trend lines the way they are until I close the trade. Yeah, the stop loss is quite big. That's where that's the rules-based strategy that I use. You could reduce your lot size if you wanted to take the same stop loss. But that is the rules-based strategy that I use. Or you could put it, above a previous high here on the Tokyo session, but that's not according to my strategy. And we'll just see. And it could be if this should turn around and break back above my trend line there, I don't have to hold the trade all the way to the stop loss. If I interpret the market to that this trade is not working out, I will accept a smaller loss. Just because that is the stop loss doesn't mean I have to be flexible, but I give it some breathing room up there. But it is quite big. I prefer that. Sure, I prefer that. My the break of the trend line would be over in this area here, and then it's a very tight stop loss. But it is what it is. Sometimes I would not take this trade if it's that far away. That was a clear break of the trend line there, so I took the trade. And the issue is the first few candles always a little bit slow to start. Oh, we only got 3 people watching. And if you did add me to Telegram, Emmanuel, then uh, I'll chat with you after the live. I'm always really pretty quick to reply to messages. And Telegram is my main messaging service, so I will reply to you after live. Now, getting a little bit of a retracement there on this candle. Let's have a look on the 5 minute chart. See what it's doing. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, 5 minute chart. That previous candle was a big ass bearish candle. Let's see how it goes. Since I woke up a little bit late this morning, I haven't had a chance to scan through the news. I don't know what it got any big headlines or anything. Oil is holding at $102. It got up to 106 yesterday, I believe. So still holding above $100, and that is not good for gold because as the war continues and the price of oil stays high or goes higher, that means the central banks are likely to increase their interest rates in the next few months, and higher interest rates on currencies puts pressure on gold. Yeah, I didn't put a TP yet. Sometimes I do. Usually I do, actually. But the first TP would be this pivot point here, 4601, 4600. That's a strong psychological support level. We'll just go with that one for right now. That would be my first TP. And if it gets down here and looks like it might break below that, then I would move that down further. Move it down to the previous day low. or at least down to the first support level here, which we said is 40, 45.56. And that's where we were yesterday. So it's not that far away for gold. That's not that far away. But what I like to do, I cannot do it yet. But if this continues to move in my favor, then I will move my stop loss below break even, and then let it ride. But you have to be careful when you're moving your stop loss to break even with gold, because even a 100 pip stop loss, that's not very much for gold. It can come back and hit your stop loss, and then go in the right direction. But usually that's what I will use: 100 pips, and then I will move my stop loss to break even. But sometimes it will come back and hit the break even, and then go in the right direction. Now that the TP is not going to be the Asia low, because the Asia low will change. All right, if this keeps going down, then the Asia low, I will adjust this to go a little bit further. We don't know what the Asia low will be until right before London opens. If I go back and look at the previous chart yesterday, you see here, this was what the Asian session looked like yesterday. And then London opened right there, and they just boom. Actually, this is the last candle on the Asian market. I should have moved that up a little bit higher, actually. That's the last candle, and that's the London Open there. Yeah, I should have moved that one up a little bit higher. Yeah, that's the true Asia session there. This other candle here, this one here, this is the open of the London. So the Asia session will change as it unfolds. Getting a little bit of hesitation here now. That's normal. We see this all the time. Eh? Just sit on our hands and wait. Why gold moves like that way? Well, the market's just why. There's a lot of factors why everything moves. Geopolitical factors, the war in the Middle East. Why does gold move up? Maybe yesterday the central banks were adding to their gold reserves. Everything moves up and down. Nothing goes straight down, nothing goes straight up. But if you've been trading for very long, you know that. Nothing goes up forever, nothing goes down forever. And we got a few more people in the channel now. If you're watching and you're new here, let me know where you're watching from. And don't forget to click that like button. That does help the channel. Oh, So it came down to 46.12 and put on the brakes. But we're still good. Still good. Usually you don't start to see a bigger move until about maybe 45 minutes after the opening of Shanghai and Singapore. Now we're 30 minutes into the market opening. And then sometimes at the top of the hour, which is 28 minutes from now, sometimes at the top of the hour you see a complete reversal. It just goes the opposite direction. So if we are short, and I am short, at the top of the hour, I want to be careful that we don't get a complete reversal. Now getting a big ass bullish candle. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Is it going to bounce off this trend line and go back down? Maybe. This trend line strategy, it works most of the time. You know, some strategies, they work most of the time, but no strategy works all of the time. No strategy. I don't care what you're using. If you're using the Elliott wave or Fibonacci or Bollinger Bands, nothing works all of the time. You have to be willing to accept your losses. You will have losing trades, but you protect your capital with a stop loss. Minimize your risk. Don't risk more than 1 or 2% on any trade. And I always risk a lot less than that. On this trade, I'm risking about 0.02%. Very small risk. I will risk less than usually about half a percent, 0.5. But this one is a very small risk. There you go. Triangle strategy with volume works pretty well most of the time. That's the thing, Alex. We can have 100 traders in this room, and you'll have 100 different strategies. You have to, you find something that works for you most of the time, and you trust your strategy. And Raj says oil is pulling back a little bit. It's still 102. Let's just look at that right quick. Oh, okay, yeah, it is pulling back a little bit. Okay. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. That's right. Those are correlated. 102. What did it get up to yesterday? It got way up there. 107 yesterday. Yeah. There's a lot of manipulation going on with the price of oil right now. All the big hedge fund managers, they're manipulating the price, pushing it a lot one way and then pushing it again the other way. So, yep. And that could be pushing our price of gold back up. Right now it's bouncing off of that trend line. If it should break above that trend line, I'm still going to give it some breathing room. I've got my stop loss there. Just have to see how it plays out. TGIF, guys, thank goodness it's Friday. Been a crazy week, eh? With all of that high impact news that we've had all week long. I don't know if there's any news today. I haven't checked forex factory yet. Let me have a quick look. No high impact news today. TGIF. So tomorrow I will start going back to the gym again. I canceled my gym membership for April because I was supposed to go to Dubai. Some of you that follow me, I was supposed to go to Dubai in April. Had the ticket all booked. I booked the ticket before the war started. And then the war started and the airline canceled my ticket. So I didn't go to Dubai in April. But I canceled my membership, my gym membership for April. But I'll start again tomorrow. Anybody seen Howard lately? He was in here yesterday for a little bit. He's just getting over the flu, so he hasn't been trading for a while. Now it's come up and hit that trend line. Hey, okay, next candle starting. Let's see what happens. And this is the 8:40 a.m. candle, Indochina time. We've got two big green candles reversing direction on us. So I'm in a bit of a loss here. I'm going to stick around for a little bit, guys. Let's see how this trade plays out. Where am I now? I'm at home. I live in Bangkok, Alex. I've lived in Thailand continuously since 1989, 37 years. I have been to New Delhi a couple of times. I've been to India probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. Bangalore, Punjab, Delhi. No, before Thailand, I lived in Australia for 5 years. I have not lived in the U.S. since 1984. 1984, I moved to Australia, lived there for 5 years, and then I came to Thailand. I have lived outside the U.S. longer than I lived inside the U.S., and I will never go back to the U.S. It's not the same America that I grew up in. It's changed so much. Okay, getting another green candle here, but it's respecting the trend line so far. So far. And we still have another 6 minutes on that candle. Oil is still holding at 102. What did the stock market do yesterday? We can have a quick look at that. US 30. Oh, okay, mostly up. And then oh yeah, S&P 500 had a big move up also. DXY, what's the dollar doing? Hmm, dollar made a big move, of course. As gold was moving up, dollar moving down, that makes sense. And now the dollar is going sideways. So USD lower than it has been this year. It did get up to above 100. Now it's at 98. So much uncertainty in the market, you know. Things are up and down a lot, eh? We just have to be patient, you know, let the price tell us what it's going to do, protect our capital. We don't control the market. You know, I'm in a short trade. The market doesn't care. The market doesn't care I'm in a short trade. It doesn't care whether or not I'm in a trade at all. It just moves. And we have to play the game, trust our strategy, protect our capital. But the market will always give opportunities to make money. You just have to be patient. Sit on your hands, which is what we're doing now. Okay, yeah. I'll do that, Alex, next time I go to India. But I tell you, don't take this the wrong way, but I really don't like India. I know it's a great country and everything, but there's so many people there. It's just like people everywhere. It's a very crowded country, and of course you have your problems with pollution, especially in Delhi. But yeah, I will go back one of these days, and I'll be really glad to look you up. No plans in the near future. I want to go back to Dubai. Had to cancel my trip to Dubai, so that's my next trip if this war will ever finish. And then I want to go to Africa. I've never been to Morocco. I'd like to go to Morocco. So getting nothing on This candle here, a little bit red. That looks good for us, on our short trade. Still another 3 minutes on this candle. All right, so that's the first cup of coffee done. If you're new to the channel, be sure to let me know where you're watching from, guys. And don't forget to click that like button. And just remember, if you want to reach out to me, you can get me on Telegram. My ID is at RickRayFX. I'll add you to the Telegram chat group for traders. And don't forget to check out my website also, rickrayfx.com. Just going to go over and look at my 5 minute chart. 5 minute chart is still looking good for gold. It's just consolidating here at this price where we are, as you know. But it still looks good. Still within the shortish range that I'm looking for. So that's the confluence, confirmation on the 5 minute chart. But anything can happen. What was my entry price on that? Let me just have a quick look. That was 46.16. I didn't put that in there. 46.16. Okay, there's my entry price. Yeah, after this candle here broke low and closed below the trend line, then I went short. I was a little bit, about a minute or two slow to pull the trigger on that short trade. I like to get it right after that candle closes. But I was having some issues on MT5. Now here we go. So what do we got? Red, red, green, green, red, green. Looks like it wants to go back up, guys. This is the last candle on the first hour. And if I sign out of live YouTube right now, usually what happens as soon as I sign out, as soon as I stop streaming, then it makes a big move. I see that happens a lot. I'm not gonna stop streaming just yet. Yes, 5 minute chart still good. And that's a good question there, Raj. If it closes above and starts to move above the green trend line, if it closes above and looks like it's turning bullish, I likely would just go ahead and take the loss. I don't. Nothing says I have to wait until it hits my stop loss. Okay, it's a pretty big stop loss today, but there's nothing that says I have to wait. If it looks to me like the trade is not working, then I will cut my loss. But that would mean it breaks above the action line here and and giving me a indication that the trade is not working, then I'll cut my loss. But I don't see that just yet. Now, so far we're respecting the trend line. This one here, we got it's respecting the trend line. Oh, I already finished that coffee. No, no coffee left. Pretty boring so far today. Sometimes the Asian market can be like this, very slow moving. First day of the month of May, hard to believe. Hey, January, February, March, April, already gone. 2026. Now we're in the second quarter. Okay, talk to me, baby. Look at that. What's going to happen at the top of the hour? That's always a $64,000 question. What will happen at the top of the hour? We can look on the hourly chart real quick. I think I still got my internet there. Oh, I got all my notes in here. I don't know if you can see anything. Uh, one green candle, red, red, red. Okay, hard to see all that with all my notes. So, okay, I don't. That didn't help much to look at the 1 hour chart. Now getting a doji. Oh, it's still 4 minutes to go on this candle. Well, now it doesn't look so great, eh? 5 minute chart looks like it's trying to break back above. And it certainly is. Oil is still not doing anything. Looks like this so far this trade's not working very well. And that was really a good trend line strategy so far, but not working out. Another 2 minutes on this candle. Let me go over and see. Oh, I got still a small loss. It's not a huge loss. Even this loss I have up here is a small loss according to the size of my account. But it is far away, and I don't have to let it go all the way up there. But if I should get, if I lose the internet or I get called away from the chart, all this information is on the server. So my capital is protected. That's why you use a stop loss. Protect your capital. Yes, Alex, you can always think about reversing the trade. Some people will do that. Uh, should break and close above this trend line, then likely, as I just said, I might cut my loss and get out, and could certainly think about reversing the trade. Sometimes I will do that. But we've got three candles now, one, two, three, that have respected the trend line. And now we're at the top of the hour. Which way is it going to go, George? Which way will it go, George? 5 minute chart still looking okay. I don't trust the first candle on the top of the hour. Have to let that one finish now. If we get some bearish movement here, we might see a continuation. And if we start to see a continuation, I will wait till it breaks below my entry point, 100 pips, and then I will stop the break even. But it's a long way from that now. 100 pips would be right about there. If it comes down here, if it comes down here, this is where I would put my stop loss at break even. But look what's happening now. Top of the hour reversal. Mm-hmm. 5 minute chart not looking so good now. 5 minute chart looking bullish. And still 7 minutes to go on that candle. Just looking at considering all scenarios. If this breaks above, if I decide to cut my loss here, probably I think today I will not reverse the trade. I'll wait for it to close above this red line. Oh, it's looking bullish now, eh? Top of the hour reversal. Uh, Got to let this candle close, guys, before I think about getting out. Hmm. Wow, still another 6 minutes on that candle. Oh, okay. Now we're breaking above that line there. Breaking above our action line here. No longer respecting the trend line. I'm looking at maybe 46.28. Yeah, 46.28, 46.29 might be where I get out. Trying to sit on my hands, guys. Yeah, you got to trust your strategy, Alex. It will work most of the time. What do we have here? We had a high of 46.25.4, but I'm looking at 46.29 where I might get out if this keeps going up. I'll just have to say, well, the trade didn't work. And we've had one, two, three, four, five, almost an hour that it's been going the wrong direction. It was only good on the one candle, eh? Only good on that first candle, and then turned against us. Hmm. Yeah, 5 minute chart is not looking to be in our favor here. So maybe this was just a liquidity grab. We had that initial gap up, a huge move up. Maybe here Tokyo opened and they decided to come down and knock out all the stop losses and pending orders from this initial buying, and now continuing to move to higher prices. Looks like that's what's happening. 46.27, 46.28 right now, and another 1 minute on this candle, guys. That's a big ass bullish candle. We had two of those. Big bullish candle here, another big one there. Yeah, this is doesn't look like it's going to work today. Another 30 seconds on this candle, and the 5 minute chart is now turned against us. And now we start the next candle. Yeah, this is not working in our favor. 29. In fact, I'm just going to go to my MT and move my stop loss to 46.29 and probably get stopped out. 46.29. Yeah. Yep. Okay, I'm done. This trade didn't work out, guys. Yeah, you can see there is too much bullish movement here. Wow. As soon as I move the stop loss, it hit it. Yeah. Okay. And what do we got? 10 minutes after the hour. Wow. Could have reversed that trade right at the beginning of that candle, eh? Okay, I'm not going to do anything, guys. See what we got here. 46.22, the gap closed. Oh, hey, Howard. Good morning to you. We were wondering about you. And Howard went long. Good for you. Raj got out, and I got out too. That short trade wasn't working. Yeah, we got out just in time, right? Now they get a big ass bullish move. Wow. Going like a rocket now. And Howard is in a good long trade. So I'm not going to do anything now, guys. I'm just going to relax. I will come back in 4 hours from now and see what the Tokyo close and the London open See what they will do. Unfortunately, that trade didn't work out. It happens sometimes. Yeah, that would have almost doubled my loss if I had let that go up and hit. That's going to go up and hit the original stop loss, likely. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to click that like button. I wish you all the best with your trading today. Gee, yeah, thank goodness it's Friday. I hope you have a great weekend wherever you are in the world. I'll see you again on Monday.